Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Kevin Smith is deluded. Yes, I know. Bit of a robust statement to start this video with. I know, but I genuinely do mean it. And it's interesting for someone who professes to be in on pop culture, relevant, I guess you could say, and also someone that has been around social media. He is totally and utterly deluded. Now, of course, Master of the Universe Revelation, aka The Teela Show, aka I Am the Bestest, aka No Hero's Sacrifice, No Hero's Journey for any individuals, and also just a terribly written show. Had its part 1 and also its part 2 release. Now, part 1 was widely derided. It was absolutely and utterly destroyed online, massively so. Loads of people absolutely slam dunked it. I mean, I did like a hour and a half stream, comedically based, of course, where I absolutely pooped all over that show. And now part 2 has released, and Kevin Smith's delusions continue. He actually now believes that people think part 2 has saved part 1. Now, obviously, this is just my opinion. Many people have differences of opinion on this. Some people do like it, of course. But part 2, to me, confirms what I thought was going to happen in this show. Sadly, is that because they had doubled down so hard on part 1's narrative, being that Teela is the bestest and this sort of very unlikable character, it would be very hard to flip that around in part 2 and make anything salvageable. So, what am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about his recent tweet. Yes, I know, Twitter. I know, I hate it, sorry. But side note, if you don't follow me on Twitter, please do, at Mr. H Reviews. Why would you follow me on Twitter, I hear you say? Well, if you don't follow me on Twitter or Instagram, at Mr. H Reviews, you wouldn't see the fact that I almost died last night. Yes, I've shared some dash cam footage of my car literally sideways. Scary times. But please do follow me on there. You can have snippets of my life and also my initial reactions of movies and the such. But here's what I'm talking about, ladies and gents. Kevin Smith. It means the world, or rather the universe. My likes are filled with love for Master's official revelation after part 1. Now, so this is the irritating part. After part 1, I had to wade through some bile to read positive reactions. Well, what does that tell you, Kevin Smith? If you had to really look for the positive reactions, it means that the overwhelming response was negative. What? I mean, the self-awareness, or lack of, is absolutely monumental here. How can you say this? I had to wade through some bile to get positive reactions. Like, yeah. For good reason, mate. That's saying something, isn't it? Does that not sing to your sort of critical eye there, Kevin? Unbelievable. But now he says this. But since part 2 dropped, the anger directed at me in July seems to have subsided. Yes, for season 2. No, God, no. Please don't make a season. No, don't make a season 2. But if you do, no worries, because I'm ready to poop all over that. And I mean, this is, again, lack of self-awareness 101. This is absolutely tragic. And, I think he does know. I don't think he's that stupid. He must know. He must absolutely know. Like, and of course, the thing about this is and we'll look at the replies, because they absolutely ring true with all of this. The simple fact of the matter is that people watched part 1. There was a long hiatus between part 1 and part 2. Not super long, but long enough. And people were like, no, I'm done. I'm absolutely done. I could not give a crap. Couldn't give a rat's ass about this. I'd rather go watch Squid Game or, pull my toenails out with a pair of pliers. I don't know. And And that seems to be the overwhelming response from a lot of people, is that simply they just could not be bothered to tune into it. Now, I obviously tuned into it. I am a reviewer. It's what I do for a living. It's what I do here on YouTube. So I was, of course, always going to watch that show. I had to give an informed opinion on it, right? I'm not going to be one of these people, one of these idiotas that just sits around complaining about stuff and then never watching it. No, I will watch things and then give an objective review. So the general populace just didn't bother to tune into it. And, you know, the general response from people that he would have seen wouldn't have been just reviewers, you know, even YouTube reviewers. It just wouldn't have been. If you have to wade through bile to get the positive reactions, yeah, that's because the overwhelming response from the general audience would have been that it was poo-poo magoo. Okay? And they've tuned out, mate. They have tuned out. You are absolutely deluded. It's very strange. For someone that, you know, is a part of social media, is a part of pop culture. Now, Lorena Creole, who is a friend of the channel, actually been on her show, said, bruh. Love that, bruh. The anger hasn't subsided. We've just resigned ourselves to the fact that this whole series was a joke. In other words, some of us don't care anymore to be angry. Yeah, that's the other thing. You know, people are well aware. They got the bait and switch in in the trailers and in part 1, and then they realised that it would be more of the same for part 2. Now, Chris Edwards here obviously loved this take on Master of the Universe and says, can we resurrect Thundercats? Can Kevin Smith do it? I believe Thundercats is already having a live action adaptation, and thankfully Kevin Smith is nowhere to be found, so that's great. But then we get this kind of reaction, you know, it's because everyone knew that it would be the same shit, so why bother watching part 2? Yeah, precisely. And this is the general response from the general audience. All quiet on the Western Front, because everyone you offended with part 1 has moved on. Congrats for getting the fan base you wanted, because the ones that are actually passionate about the material have cut all ties. Yeah, and this is the thing. Who is this actually for? You know, it wasn't really for fans of the 80s show. I believe this is realistically more of a sequel to the 2000 era one. I mean, I didn't watch the 2000 era one. I was busy, you know, with life and things. But the 80s show, yeah, I was a fan of that, and that's what I wanted with this. More of that, more of the sort of moralistic messages at the end of the episodes and things like that. That's what I wanted. I didn't want, you know, people complaining and chastising grieving mothers and fathers because their son lied to them. No, that's just absolutely ludicrous. Total nonsense. I've said from the beginning, Revelations has its own story to tell. You did great from start to finish. All of the hate brigade, looking at you, clownfish, can go catch a brick. I mean, this is the thing. Loads of people like to pinpoint failures or, you know, movements of hatred and things on, you know, YouTubers. I had the same kind of thing thrown at me for Terminator Dark Fate. It's like, look, thanks. You know, as much as you believe I have that power, I don't have that power. All right, I'm not He-Man here. I don't have the power of Grayskull behind me. People don't listen to me that much, you know. The overwhelming majority just thought it was crap. That's what happens. But again, you know, reduce views and interest was the goal, question mark. I watched one episode of part 1 also and checked out. You also cost a view on Clark's 3. And this is the thing, you know, loads and loads of people. The general response is negative. There is, of course, a lot of people saying, yeah, great, you know, whatever. Mainly indifference now, in fact. Kind of seemed like you liked the negativity, saying you had to wade through bile, when it was mainly people who didn't appreciate you lying. True. And causing the people exposing you were doing Teela's show to be dogpiled. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing, like, everyone, whatever. It is what it is. But I thought you'd find this interesting. I thought this would make for an interesting video. I mean, look, this is an individual, you know, well, there's an individual, yeah, I mean, it is an individual, isn't it? Kevin Smith. Someone who has been on social media before, who has run his own shows before, YouTube, etc. You know, podcast, whatever, you name it, he's done it. I'm confused. You know, you're either deluded, Kevin Smith, or you're simply lying to yourself, or you're lying to Netflix to try and get them to greenlight that season 2, which inevitably they will, of course. But me and Jasper didn't like it, did we, mate? Jasper, Jasper. 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 Jasper, don't eat treats. There we go. We didn't like it, did we, mate? There you go, ladies and gents. Jasper has spoken. So anyway, folks, I'm looking awfully white up in here. Let me disappear off whilst I promote this. This is, of course, my Xenomorph Christmas ugly sweater. Please do grab it. It's down below in the description box. This is a limited edition, one-of-a-kind design because it's designed for me by my graphic designer. You want to rock this during the Christmas period? Please do. It's a really cool design all over. You've got Ripley, got the Space Jockeys, Xenomorphs. We've got eggs, facehuggers, chest bursters, juggernauts. It's all there. So grab that. The link is in the description box. And if you want to own your own Jasper, maybe he can ignore you too. Well, he will because he's a t-shirt version. Then you can as well. We've got this design here. This is the Jasper Christmas Special. This is available on mugs. We've got it on long sleeve tees, short sleeve tees, premium tees, you name it. We've got it all linked down below in the description box. So please do grab it whilst you still can. Ladies and gents, I hope you enjoyed this quick video. Again, links to all of that is in the description box. Follow me on Twitter and follow me over on Instagram. Would be special if you did. Thank you so much. Take care.